Alright, welcome to Friday Night Magic at Four Horsemen Comics and Gaming. I'm Ryan, and with me tonight is...
Ron Davis.
Yeah, it's gonna be a night, guys. Anyways...
I'm a magic expert.
Down in the feature match area, we have Mr. Bryan Alukonis on the left. He's playing Nyavern versus Tyler Turtle Claypole. He's on the right. He's playing...
Turtle.
The Merfolk, as usual. He's gonna start off with Cavern of Souls into Aethervial. Now, if you're affiliated with Ron or acquainted with Ron, you may know that he's not your typical Magic player. In fact, he famously only plays in Magic tournaments where the first instructions from the judge are, open your pack without looking at the cards in your pack, then shuffle in 3 of each basic land.
It's my favorite game.
Favorite thing ever. So we're gonna have a night here. Brian's going to start on Monastery Swift Spear and attack Tyler for 1. He goes down to 19.
Get ready for a lot of dumb questions. So, if you're new to Magic, this night is for you. Me and you are going to learn together.
Yeah, Ron is just going to ask questions.
Lots and lots of questions, like why is there a die on the...
So that's a card called, an artifact called Aethervial.
Okay.
At the beginning of your turn, your upkeep, you get to put a charge counter on it. And then you can tap it and put a creature into play with converted mana cost equal to the number of charge counts.
Ah. And the charge goes up every time?
Yeah. You can choose to put it up or not.
So just like when Christine goes to like JCPenney's, the charge goes up every single time.
I don't think you have any room to criticize her because I've seen the diamond orders. the stormtrooper helmets.
I've got impulse control problems.
Alright, here's Aaron Mesa for Brian, and in for 1 with a Swift Spear. He's yet to cast any spells to grow the Swift Spear.
Uh-oh.
Tyler's down to 18. And at the end of Brian's turn, Tyler's going to put Curse Catcher into play with the Aether Vial, and then kick the Aether Vial up to 2 on his upkeep. So Tyler's deck is called Merfolk.
For some reason, when I think of Merfolk, I think of like not wizards, but like forest creature type
No,
people.
they're mermaids.
Mermaid? All right. Merfolk.
Yes, yeah.
Gotcha.
He plays the mermaids, and all the mermaids give each other +1/+1, and they make each other stronger. And they have this ability called Island Walk, which means if your opponent has an island, then they can't be blocked.
Ah.
And that card under Brian's arm there, the blue enchantment.
Yeah.
Tyler plays that and enchants one of Brian's lands and turns it into an island, makes his guys unblockable.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Alright, so Tyler's going to attack for 2 with the Curse Catcher. No, he's going to Vial in the Lord of Atlantis, so the Curse Catcher's 3/3 and takes Brian down to 17. We're going to have to step downstairs in between these games and have them push their dice down just a wee bit. Just a wee bit. Alright. You can hear your phone.
I can fix that.
You can do that?
I can do that.
It looks like Brian is going to fetch at the end of Tyler's turn, cracking his Arid Mesa. And looking for... I'm assuming he's going to put a shock land into play tapped here. So Brian is playing Burn. And Burn is just a deck... Now he's getting a mountain. It's just a deck of red spells that deal damage to a player directly. Like Lightning Bolt does 3 damage to that guy.
See, that's how I want to play. I want to like decimate. That seems real easy to be able to do.
Yeah, it's
I want a whole deck of those. That's all I want.
Brian's going to start at the end of Tyler's turn. He's going to cast Lightning Bolt and deal 3 damage to Tyler's Lord of Atlantis.
So I've seen Jaws. You just stay out of the water.
Yeah.
And
that's how you beat Tyler. You just stay out of the water.
All right. So flying is flying a weakness of the Merfolk?
It could be. It could be. You could fly over them. Yes. Tyler has an interesting story about why his Band-Aid there. Did you ask him why he has a Band-Aid on his finger?
Wasn't he attacked by a lizard?
He was attacked by Gojira.
Was it a wizard lizard?
It was a wizard lizard. It's like Brian is going to fetch and shock himself down to 14. So these lands that Brian is putting into the graveyard, those are the fetch lands.
Yep.
You pay life and sack them, and then you get to go look for another land and put them into play.
Why not just use the land that you're sacrificing?
The fetch lands don't tap for mana.
Ah.
Alright, here's Eidolon of the Great Revels for Brian. Eidolon says, whenever a player casts a spell with converted mana cost 3 or less, it deals 2 damage to them.
Ah.
So it's good in his deck because it means every spell that Tyler casts, he's going to have to take 2 damage for if it's 3 or less, which are pretty much all of Tyler's spells.
Ah.
Of course, Bryan's deck is also full of spells that cost 3 or less, but usually he's ahead on life.
Right.
Here's Silvergill Adept. It's going to reveal Master of the Pearl Trident.
That one's signed.
Yeah, it is. I believe that is one of our Child's Play cards.
Was it?
Yes.
Nice.
He's going to draw a card from the Silvergill Adept's Enter the Battlefield ability. And then he's going to have to think.
He's thinking. He's ciphering really hard.
We call it, in the biz, we call it going in the tank, but when it's Tyler, I call it going in the fish tank. So after Tyler casts Silvergill Adept, that triggers Marrow-Ridgery's ability, which lets him tap down Eidolon. And then Tyler's going to vial in the Master of the Pearl Trident, so he gets to attack with the other 2 creatures for quite a bit of damage. Oh lord, I wish those dice were down farther.
So Turtle's deck is mostly creature-based, and Bryan's is mostly spell-based, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Bryan's does have some he has a few like hasty creatures that can get in quick.
Right.
Haste meaning they can attack the same time they come into play, plus the Eidolons, but mostly spell-based. But since Tyler on turn 2 turned this mountain here into an island, that's preventing him from casting his red spells and slowed him down quite a bit.
Jerk move.
You hear that, Tyler? Ron called you a joik.
So what's your favorite way to play? Do you play like a whole bunch of little quick things that come out, or big lumbering massive things, or zaps?
I like green decks that have
Okay.
lots of creatures where all the creatures do different things, and then you have ways to tutor them out so that you can go and get the creature you need for the specific situation.
Ah, okay.
Like I'm facing an artifact deck, I'm going to tutor up my tutor means search your library
Right.
for the creature that blows up artifacts. Or I'm got an opponent with a bunch of creatures, I'm going to look for the creature that blows up other creatures and that kind of stuff.
All right.
It looks like Bryan is now in the tank.
He's thinking. He's ciphering.
And he's in there a while. It's reminding me of that scene from Ace Ventura: Pet Detective where he falls in the shark tank. And based on how this match is going so far for Bryan, that might be how it ends as well. Ace was able to drag himself out of there. We'll see if Bryan can do the same.
I believe him. I don't know. Bryan's down to 7. Turtle's up to 16.
Yep.
Turtle's on point tonight, man.
Alright, so Bryan is tapping his mana. It looks like he's pulling himself out of the tank. He's going to cast a Rift Bolt, which will deal 3 damage
Take
to
that.
Master of the Pearl Trident. So this is not great for Bryan, because the whole point of his deck is to cast these spells at Tyler and kill
Not the
Tyler.
creatures, yeah.
But since Tyler's presenting such a fast clock with all these fishies, Bryan has to kill them to stay alive, which means he's not pointing those burn spells at Tyler.
Ah, okay.
So Tyler's in a pretty good position right now. And Bryan's going to play a land and pass. See what Tyler has in store. Bryan has strategically killed the 2 merfolk that give Tyler's creatures island walk. So Tyler does have 3 creatures now, but they aren't unblockable because Bryan correctly killed the right ones.
Right.
Alright, here's another curse catcher for Tyler.
I was gonna say, Turtle's relentless tonight.
He is. He really is. Curse catcher will trigger Marrow-Ridgery, which will tap down the Eidolon, and Tyler's gonna swing in for 7.
No.
Yeah.
That's it? There's
Yeah.
no way.
No.
I've seen Rocky.
Shut
At
up.
the last minute,
Bryan's
Bryan's gonna come back.
Bryan has a blocker. He's not dead.
All right.
He can block one of these things.
All right.
Alright, but he's just gonna. Well, yeah,
What?
he's
He
just
took
gonna
it?
scoop him up because he has nothing to follow up with. Even he can
He could survive one more round, and that's it.
he can survive this turn, but then he knows there's no way to.
Right.
So Tyler Claypole on the fish
With the win.
is up a game over Bryan Alukonis
Good job,
on the
Turtle.
Night Burn. I'm gonna step downstairs real quick, guys. Oh, there's there's the logo.
How's that?
I don't know.
Neat.
All right,
And we're back.
We're going to step downstairs and move those dice. And Ron's going to tell you guys about the Standard Showdown, which we have going on tomorrow night at 5 o'clock.
And Ryan just put me on the spot because I have no idea what he's talking about. Standard Showdown is tomorrow, Saturday. It is a new kind of format that Wizards is kind of putting out there. Invite everybody to come on out and play. And Ryan is moving the dice. And he shall be back soon. If you're online, if you're on Facebook, I am also on there as well on the chat line. So got a few friendly faces out there. Wyatt, Russell,
We are going,
Mr. Gasper.
we're going offline. BRB. Alright guys, we are back. Sorry about that. We had to deal with some store business. It looks like Bryan and Tyler are gearing up for game number 2 here.
So does Bryan always start with 7 points? And Tyler starts with 16?
Yes, those are the house rules.
You start where you leave off?
Start where you leave off, which, Bryan was actually on 0, so I think that means the match is just over. I think you were shouting out some people in our Facebook chat.
I was.
Hey, we got any notables?
We just had somebody join. Ladies and gentlemen, lovely and talented David Reha has joined us on Facebook. Reha! Good friend of mine from the olden days, Steve Gasper, is on here. Steve, how are you?
The friendly ghost.
No, not that one. That's Casper.
Oh. A little confusion. I dog Tyler relentlessly that he shuffles too much.
All right, let me ask you this. This is something that has plagued me. I have seen people shuffle different ways, and everybody claims their way is the best. What actually is the most randomized? What randomized it the best?
There's 3 different main ways to shuffle, and they're the hand over hand, which you just saw Tyler doing.
All right.
Then there's the pile shuffling, where they usually do it in 10 different piles, and then there's the riffle, like you do with a poker deck.
That seems like that would hurt.
From Wizards, you are only allowed to do a pile shuffle once per game because it doesn't actually randomize your deck. It just distributes the cards in a different order. So there's that top, less than 1% of person where if you know the order of your cards, then you can just redistribute it.
Yeah.
So you can do that once per match, but then your opponent has to gets to shuffle and cut it.
Right.
It used to be that you could do that. It also takes a lot longer, and people would do that pile shuffle like 2 or 3 times before each game. So like, they do that 2 or 3 times, play a game, do that 2 or 3 times, play another game. So Wizards actually changed the rules, so you can only do that once before every game.
Okay.
So that the actual best way is hand over hand, because that does randomize your deck, but it doesn't damage your cards like riffle shuffling.
Ah, okay. Which one do you like?
I just do hand over hand.
Right.
I also can't riffle. It's too hard. But I don't want to do it anyway because it damages your cards.
Right.
All right, so Bryan's going to suspend this Rift Bolt, so that means at the beginning of his next turn, he's going to get to cast it for free and deal 3 damage to Tyler. So Tyler will go down to 17. And
so again, he's doing the direct damage that he wanted to do last time.
Yes, and Bryan gets to go first here, and hopefully he won't have his mana disrupted, so maybe we'll get an opportunity to see what the burn deck can do. Keep us on the flow. If anybody shouts out in the chat, let us know what's going on. I'm going to get our Twitch chat up here.
Diamond Dave is asking what round. We are in round 2.
We are round number 1.
Game 2. Round 1.
Game 2 of round number 1 of our feature match between Bryan Alukonis and Tyler Turtle Claypole, Titans of the game.
TTC.
Yeah. Bryan is quite BA, I must say.
He is BA.
He is BA.
I'll give him that.
Alright, and he's going to fetch you down to 19 and grab himself another mountain. Mountains do create red mana, and burn spells do cost red mana.
How many... Is he only running red, do you think?
No, he's playing Naya, which is red, green, and white.
And what does Naya mean?
Red, green, and white.
How? I don't get... How do you get green and white out of Naya?
Ask Wizards. It's... So, on the plane of Alara, Alara is made up of 5 different planes, and Naya is the plane that represents green mana, but is allied with red and white mana also. It's a little... All right, so here's another one of those spreading seas, like I said, which is going to take Bryan off of one of his red and turn it into an island. And Ryan's going through and checking out a handful of red spells, which he may have been able to cast 2 on this turn, but now it looks like he may only be able to cast 1. It looks like he may not even have another land. So this is going to slow him down significantly. He's going to start with an attack by the Eidolon. Tyler's going to take it go down to 16.
So a
15.
firm poke in the eye.
A firm poke in the eye.
Yes. From the elbow, where it really hurts.
Excuse me. Tyler was at 15 off of the Eidolon trigger. He's going to take the damage with no blocks and go down to 13. Just getting it updated. All right.
Looks
so
like we've got some people cheering on Mr. Turtle.
Really?
Mr. Jeremy.
Mr. Jeremy Harmon?
Yep.
Oh, Jeremy Harmon in the chat. How's it going, man?
And Kevin is on here as well.
Well, where are these guys?
Yeah, where are you guys at?
All right, we're gonna be right back. I have to say some dirty words to Ron.
What?
All right, we are back. Sorry, guys. I just had to whisper some sweet nothings to Ron. It happens.
My ears are bleeding.
While we were gone, it seems like Bryan has Tyler on a bit of the ropes, but Tyler's going to follow up with Master of Waves and bring in the Squirtle Squad.
Those are Squirtles.
Yeah, they're Squirtles.
Those are absolute Squirtles.
They're custom tokens for that card made by artist RK Post.
That's pretty cool.
And Tyler's going to attack for 1 with the Curse Catcher. Hiya.
Hiya. A roundhouse kick.
Roundhouse kick. I don't see a beard on that fish. You see a beard?
There's no beard.
There's no beard. Bryan's going to take the damage and fall down to 14.
All right, so I guess etiquette. Turtle just adjusted his life counter. Is that a thing, or is that?
Yeah, no. That's fine as long as.
Okay.
It's good whenever there's a change in life total. It's always good that the player announces it and then the other player acknowledges it.
All right.
Because sometimes, as a judge, we'll have situations where he says my life total is 8, and I say my life total is 10, and then it's neither player was appropriately keeping track of their life, and then that's just a nightmare.
Gotcha.
So, take a lesson from an old judge. Whenever your life changes, tell your opponent and listen for them to say okay, and also keep track of your life on a life pad, not a die.
I believe Kevin offered to bring us some pizza later, which is awesome.
Yes, Kevin, pizza away. Haven't had dinner yet.
Fantastic.
Would much appreciate it.
Jeremy's urging Turtle to unleash the Merfolk rage. Do they rage much?
No, but Tyler does. And speaking of Tyler raging, Bryan wins this game and ties it up to. I
Look at that! I blinked. What
You
happened?
Blinked, and I'm not really sure, but I'm guessing Bryan cast some red spells that did damage to Tyler and reduced his life total to 0.
So we're gonna have some shrimp on the Barbie tonight.
Shrimp on the Barbie, indeed. So we have an event coming up at the Kennywood, do we not?
We do have Kennywood.
Do you want to tell the people a little bit?
Yes, not this Sunday, June 18th, I believe, Father's Day, whatever day Father's Day is. Kennywood Park is hosting a comic convention. And
it is the 18th.
It is the 18th. We are going to be there in support of that, so come on out. If you, it's a superhero event, so if you wear a superhero costume, you're actually going to get in cheaper. I think you get in for $25, the reduced rate.
Yeah, and even if you're not interested in the convention, that's a pretty cheap Kennywood ticket.
Yep.
You got to wear a superhero T-shirt.
Yep. They're going to be open from 10 till 10. The convention only runs from 10 until 6, I believe.
Yep.
And it's going to be around the lagoon, so swing around the lagoon a couple times, come by and say hi.
I'm going to have to take a break at some point and do the Sky Coaster.
I would never do that.
I have done it.
Have you really?
Yes, I have.
No.
That was exhilarating.
No, that's called terrifying.
I was scared to death. So they pull you up, and you're like 30 feet up or whatever. They let you go, and like I just held my arms out and just screamed as loud as I could, because I guess that's what you do.
That's exactly what you do.
Just pretending like I was some awesome super guy.
All right, you want to hear my favorite Kennywood memory?
Sure.
This involves my daughter Lakin, and
yes.
she was rather small. She was probably, I don't know,
too small to be on a roller coaster.
4 or 5. Yeah, not that old.
Mm-hmm.
4 or 5 years old. Went on to remember Noah's Ark?
Yes.
Well, they changed it. It used to be just like this walk-through goofy thing, and then they changed it to where at the end of it, they lock you in a room, and it like starts like flooding, like the waters.
They got rid of that.
Did they really?
Yes.
Oh.
Now it's the old Noah's Ark.
Oh, that's too bad. Because Lakin was terrified. They shut the doors and the water starts rolling in, and she like climbed up like a spider monkey on my head and like perched up on it. She thought it was all over. It was fantastic. I'm the worst parent ever.
I would have just been like trying to call up 3PO.
Shut down all the trash
on the detention level. I forgot. I turned it off.
We've had some problems.
Master Luke. Blah, 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 blah. Shut up, 3PO. All right, so looks like our competitors are shuffled up. They have presented to each other. They're cutting. Hopefully we're going to see two
Triple
guys
cuts.
with 7 cards in their hand to begin this game.
There's 1.
Dos, tres,
4.
cinco, seis,
There's 7.
siete, ocho, nueve. Hold on, Tyler.
What?
All right. They are inspecting their hands. Hopefully we will have a game underway soon for you guys. If you're just tuning in, I am Ryan and this is Ron. We're broadcasting from Four Horsemen Comics and Gaming in Morgantown, West Virginia. Make sure to check out our other great locations in Clarksburg and Waynesburg, PA. And Tyler, to the surprise of no one, casts a Merfolk.
Dun dun dun.
Brian's going to start off with a fetch land, getting a basic mountain, so he will begin this game on 19.
So is it customary every time he shuffles his deck that?
Yes, you have to present to your opponent and offer to let them cut your deck.
Do you cut every time, or you let him slide sometimes?
I generally it'll depend on the event and who I'm playing against.
Gotcha.
If it's a casual event and somebody I know, I often don't cut just to save time. Okay, so Ryan is going to start with the Monastery Swiftspear and attack Tyler down to 1. But then Tyler's going to follow up with a Spreading Seas, which he's had on turn 2 all 3 games of this match to cut Bryan off a red yet again. I think the term you used earlier was mean.
Which one?
About Tyler taking away Bryan's red mana.
Yes. That's very mean.
It's very mean. All right, Brian's considering his options, stuck in the fish tank yet again. He's going to crack another fetch land. Probably going to see a Sacred Foundry here. Nope, he's going to grab a Stomping Ground. Perhaps he has a green spell in his hand he may want to cast during this game.
One of my early experiences with Magic involved a control deck.
If this happened in college...
No.
All right, go ahead.
We swore never to speak of it. Control deck. I played against Caleb.
That was your first mistake.
Yes, and he was relentless. I couldn't do anything. It was the worst game ever.
Control means that you control the game.
He absolutely
counter
did.
the spells and kill the creatures. Yep. And
I was real proud. Like, I'm going to do this. Caleb goes, nope, sure not. Guess again.
I'm sure there may have been some amount of underhandedness that went on. Caleb is a slippery goose.
He's very slippery.
Back in the old religious facility that my mother attended, and sometimes may or may not have dragged me to, there were geese in the front yard of it, and they were dangerous. And sometimes they'd be wet, and they're much harder to pin to the ground when they are wet. Here's a lightning bolt from Mr. Alukonis.
Lightning bolt.
It's going to grow the Swiftspear and destroy the Curse Catcher, and Tyler fails to sacrifice.
Oh, wait, what does it mean? What do you mean grow the Swiftspear? What is that?
Monastery Swiftspear has prowess, which means it gets +1/+1 for each instant or for each non-creature spell that Bryan casts that turn.
Okay.
So it'll attack for 2 instead of 1, taking Tyler down to 17.
But it's only that turn, so it's going to
only that turn. Yeah, now it is now a 1/2 again.
Okay.
All right, here's Aether Vial for Tyler.
Aether Vial.
Yep. Perhaps he'll add some charge counters to that, put some creatures into play.
Charging badgers?
Charging counters. You know me. Here is the former Child's Play star, Master of the Pearl Trident, with a fancy little signature there. I imagine it's going to eat a lightning bolt here pretty soon.
Oh, yeah.
The thing,
dinner is served.
On a scale of 1 to dead, how dead is that thing? About a 7.5 deads.
Oh, yeah. He's about to get some 1.21 gigawatts.
I was about to make that joke!
Got him!
I was playing the Back to the Future Telltale game last night at home.
We need to do that.
Yeah.
We should do that and commentate.
It's a little clunk. Ooh.
That would confuse it would confuse the hell out of me.
Yeah, the PlayStation's right there.
It is right there. It's real close.
Alright. Brian is going to not kill the Master of the Pearl Trident and just cast Lava Spike and deal 3 damage to Tyler, taking him down to 14.
And Bryan is actually, looks like he's at 15. I'm not sure why.
Bryan is from the attack from the shock lane. So he's at 15.
Gotcha.
That's good. All right, here's another spreading seas. Ugh, Tyler. He's like the bad guy from the Karate Kid.
Sweep the leg, turtle.
No, the bad guy was the one who did the bad guy who got swept.
No, that was the coach to the bad guy. Remember the bad guy?
The bad kid is the one with the brown hair. The good one is the one with the blonde hair. Tyler's like the one with the brown hair.
I got you.
Yeah. All right, some life totals changed while we were off on that tangent.
Movies again.
Just gonna
good Magic commentary tonight, and the game's over.
We are on fire.
Here's some Star Wars quotes.
We're just like the Enterprise in Star Trek 3. We are on fire, ladies and gentlemen.
Hurtling to the ground. All right, Kevin made a comment online about spreading season. What is that?
So Tyler's blue enchantment that he enchants Bryan's lands with and turns them into islands.
Yep.
Bryan sets those lands off to the side. But technically, you should have the land in play with the enchantment under it to indicate that it's being enchanted by that card.
Right.
But Bryan, like many players, just sets them off to the side.
Because they don't mean anything.
Yeah, and just has the spreading seas represent that land.
I got you.
All right, here's Sacred Foundry. He's going to shock it into play, taking himself down to 8.
Ouch.
Ouch, indeed. This is a battle of red and blue creatures.
This could be it.
Probably not, but we'll see. Bryan does have a fistful of spells, but Tyler and his endless spreading seas have prevented Bryan's good day at Kennywood, just like Lakin. He is crawling up on your shoulders.
Like a spider
The
monkey.
water is falling in. I think there's something alive down here.
Shoot it where? Anywhere.
No way! Alright. So,
Turtle took one.
Swift Spear in for 1. No blocks from Tyler as his creature is tapped, and he will go down to 11. Kicks his Aether Vial up to 2. Draws for the turn. Draws an island.
Another island. Out it comes.
Yep.
How many islands do you need, Turtle?
Quite a few. Here's Mirror Regery. Now, these two creatures will give each other +1/+1, so they are both 3/3s. If Tyler animates that Mutavault he has and turns it into a creature, it will be a 4/4, which will
Holy cow.
take a pretty large chunk out of Bryan's life. He could potentially take him down to 2 on this turn. But it looks like Bryan is going to cast a spell before Tyler moves to attacks.
Yeah, he's got to get something off that board or he's done.
He's taken away the Master of the Pearl Tridents, which is 1 less creature, and it takes away some of the power and toughness from the other creatures on the board. Tyler will get to look for an island as a resolution to Path to Exile, and of course he'll go for a foil.
How many... Alright, so what is the advantage of bringing out now 6 islands?
Well,
does he have anything that big?
No. But he doesn't have any way to put those islands back in his deck, so if he has them, he might as well play them.
Yep.
The only advantage to not playing them is to keep them in his hand and make Bryan think about what's in his hand. Alright, but Tyler is going to attack with a Mutavault for 3, taking Bryan down to 5. I imagine this game would already be over if Bryan had his blue mana unlocked. I see many burn spells.
There you go.
Yeah. Alright, kills the Mirror Regery. Swift Spear in for 2, taking Tyler down to 9.
It's like that scene from Little Mermaid when the Sea Witch got the spear right through her.
Ursula,
yes.
Ursula. My favorite part is where Eric pierces her with the mast
boat,
of the
yeah.
ship. It just destroys her.
So do we start calling Turtle
Ursula?
Sorry, Turtle.
I don't think you are. Alright, here is another Mirror Regery for Tyler.
How many lightning?
Oh, a third Spreading Seas.
Jeez,
oh man, and that means
awful.
Bryan has to draw a 4th land, or else he can't cast any of the spells in his hand. And Tyler's going to attack for 3 again, take Bryan down to 2. So Bryan has to draw a land here, or he is dead.
Drum roll, please.
Actually, no. He'd have to kill both of these creatures, and I don't think he can kill both of them, even if he draws a land. I think he's in the turtle grip, drowned in the fish tank.
Poseidon would be very pleased right now.
Poseidon is pleased. When he had his illegitimate son Tyler and left him in the human world, he never knew that he would bring him such glory. And Tyler Claypole takes the match 2-1 over Bryan Alukonis. A valiant effort from both players.
Good players.
Yeah. I'm sure Bryan had the means to win that game. It's just Tyler locked up his mana and turned all his mountains into islands. Very unfortunate.
Sunk him.
We have about 14 minutes left on the clock, guys. We're going to step downstairs and see if we can get anybody for a Game 3 under the camera. If not, we will be right back for round number 2 here at our weekly Modern F&M here at Four Horsemen Comics and Gaming. One more time, I'm Ryan.
I'm Ron.
And we will be RB, as they say in the biz niche. Bye-bye.